I'm on the oversight committee, you might know, and that is where we did a study recently this fall in September. And what it showed is if we don't electrify our transportation sector, that we're going to lose more than 500,000 Californians.
Love to hate. Our video of the day comes from that lump of grumpy potatoes, Katie Porter, who wants to be California's next governor. She was recently asked if more damning clips of her might be released, which is like asking Jesse Waters if he's offended any foreigners lately.
Gutfeld didn't just deliver commentary. He dropped a comedy nuke on Capitol Hill. His target? Not some faceless bureaucrat, but Congress's self-appointed math teacher, Katie Porter, the woman who treats a whiteboard like a holy relic. One minute she's scribbling equations like she's auditioning for Goodwill Hunting, the bureaucrat cut, and the next, Greg's dismantling her PR persona like a one-star Yelp review gone viral. But the real twist? Katie ends up exposing far more than Greg ever needed for the roast. It's poetic chaos.
California voters feel confident that there aren't any more Katie Porter videos out there.
Well, what I know is that I could have done better in those moments. I'm going to be focused on earning their votes and earning their trust.
But not just the CBS interview, the interview with the staffer. Can voters be confident that there won't be another one of those videos that's going to come to light?
What I do know is that I could have done better in that situation.
But that's not a no. So is there potentially another video that we're going to see?
Yes.
The more a politician refuses to answer a question, the more obvious the real answer is.
Before we dive in, hit that subscribe button. It helps more than you think. Because Katie Porter just learned the hard way that when Greg Gutfeld goes off, it's not a debate. It's a demolition derby. There she stood, gripping her signature whiteboard like Captain America's shield. And Greg turned it into target practice. He didn't just critique her talking points. He turned her entire act into performance art.
Know that I understand what I did was not good. I'm not going to mince words about it, but I also want people to understand that I am in this fight because I am not going to back down.
Tyrus, I was talking about this in the 5, that I kind of like her for being, she's like a retro 70s mom.
Yeah, you like her?
Everyone looked like her.
Why don't you have dinner with her, Greg?
Picture this, a roast, a stand-up routine, and a taxpayer therapy session, all happening at once. It's like Katie walked into a comedy club thinking it was a policy meeting, only to realize halfway through that the laughter wasn't applause. It was recognition. Greg didn't need charts or stats. He needed wit, timing, and that devilish grin that says, I've been waiting all week to do this.
The campaign manager for Katie Porter allegedly told her, you looked bad the other night. She said, you mean the interview? And he said, what interview? Meanwhile, Sonoma County in California has reinstituted mask mandates for healthcare facilities. It's all part of a larger effort to cover half of Katie Porter's face. Just when we're running out of weirdos, we get new ones.
And what lit the fuse? Katie's grand debut on another episode of politicians who accidentally expose themselves. She thought she was unveiling corruption. Instead, she revealed her own reflection. The irony was so thick you could butter toast with it.
Yeah, no kidding. No, there's nothing nice about her. Why do we have to, like, in her defense, I was waiting for the practical, usual woman defense. Whenever someone, why did you do that? Why do you, well, they did something to upset me. It was somebody else's fault. There's no accountability, nothing new. So, yeah, you didn't like that, did you, ladies? Because you guys do that stuff. But the worst part about her is that she, like, it's Halloween, and she's coming out now.
Yeah.
It's like, scary. Oh, it's scary. Like, if she jumped out of a dark alley, I would throw you in front of me to get...
You could feel time slow down. Katie stood there, armed with a whiteboard and moral superiority, trying to lecture America while her own playbook was leaking faster than a DC interns group chat. Greg didn't have to attack, he just observed. That's his magic. He's the guy at the back of class who never raises his hand but still makes the teacher laugh at herself. Katie came with statistics. Greg came with sarcasm. She lectured, he joked. By the end, it wasn't a debate. It was Mythbusters' political edition. Every one of her claims got obliterated by humor and logic. Katie's face said it all. That frozen half smile of, wait, why is everyone laughing? She didn't realize the crowd wasn't cheering her brilliance. They were cheering Greg's roast in real time.
So something's off with today's Democrats. Take Katie Porter, who's running for governor of California. She's the left's latest ray of sunshine. And like the sun, looking directly at her will damage your eyes.
What do you say to the 40% of California voters who you'll need in order to win, who voted for Trump?
How would I need them in order to win, ma'am?
Well, unless you think you're going to get 60% of, so you don't
I
think
feel like this is unnecessarily argumentative. What is your question?
Well, to those voters, okay, so you...
I don't want to keep doing this. I'm going to call it.
You're not going to do the interview with us?
Nope, not like this. I'm not. Not with 7 follow-ups to every single question you ask.
Greg transformed her speech into a blooper reel for political hypocrisy. Then came the moment, the one that every politician dreads. That split second when the cameras are still rolling and the mask slips. Suddenly, Ms. Transparency looked more like Ms. Please don't read my emails. Greg didn't need to exaggerate. He just reacted, like a man watching a live reality show meltdown. Katie tried to pivot, but the memes were already born. Screenshots, hashtags, chaos. Greg sat there smirking, watching his jokes graduate to viral fame. He didn't accuse, he implied. And implication? Sticks longer than evidence. Greg's message was simple. Don't claim to clean the swamp while you're standing knee-deep in the muck. She branded herself as the no-nonsense truth-teller. Greg turned that brand into late-night comedy gold.
This recently surfaced nugget.
To air pollution and other problems, and the state could lose. Get out of my shot.
I wanted to tell you that that's actually incorrect. It's not that it's electric vehicles. It's that if we don't make the commitments under the Paris Climate Accord.
Okay, it does. Okay, you also were in my shot before that. Stay out of my shot.
Nice girl.
Yeah. No wonder everyone who works for her ends up on a milk carton. If only she could retain staff the way she retains...
That moment, every moral lecture sounded like a punchline. Every I fight for the people line felt like a script tested by focus groups. Greg pulled off something rare as he made politics fun again. Even her beloved whiteboard became a symbol, not of transparency, but of performance. Every number she wrote, Greg reminded viewers that numbers can lie, especially when politicians hold the marker. It was savage yet smooth, like someone finally calling out the magician mid-trick. And the timing couldn't be worse for her. Election season looms, social media waits, and Greg's fans are loading the memes. Greg didn't rage, he laughed. And that's what stung. He treated her like a sitcom character, not a congresswoman. Suddenly, every grand speech she'd ever made sounded like a laugh track. He joked that politicians who say, "I have nothing to hide," always have a folder labeled delete if found.
And she's done this before. She has scared everybody in this audience in our childhood. Remember Pee Wee Herman?
Yeah.
When he was on the road in Texas, Large Marge rolled up. It was that one right there. Kennedy's having a flashback.
I said that the other day on the phone.
Yes, you did.
Yeah, she just reminds me of
Beulah
like my
Ballbreaker
friends'
from the
mothers
Porky's.
when I was a kid. There's like something very retro about her. But Molly, you know what she has? She has reverse charisma. You know, like when charisma is if you have power and empathy. Because people like Bill Clinton, he had power, but he had empathy, and then he tried to bang you.
The audience erupted, because this wasn't just about Katie. It was about all of them. The whole political class of fake transparency. Greg used her as a symbol for performative virtue. Her defenders tried the usual online cleanup. Hashtags, talking points, damage control. But it was too late. The memes were too funny, the commentary too sharp. Greg didn't just win a segment. He stole the narrative. His fans devour this stuff, chaos with a punchline. It's crowd work at Congress's expense. Greg didn't bring props, Katie did. She became the case study of a politician who preaches financial prudence, while her own books look like a budgeting tutorial gone wrong. Greg compared her to a teacher who bans phones only to start scrolling under the desk. Brutal, fair, and true, because every time a politician claims moral perfection, the internet starts digging. And when the digging pays off, It's never pretty.
Talk about that Katie Porter interview. Right, so if you don't know, Katie Porter, she's running to be the governor of California. And you had Julie Watts, who covers the state of California for CBS, interviewing her. Right, and you had Watts sitting down with this pool of candidates to discuss issues in the state. And for some reason, things got quickly heated between Porter and Watts during this question.
What do you say to the 40% of California voters?
Surprised she freaked when she heard 40%, since that's her level of body fat.
Katie's secrets weren't career-ending, just humiliating. The kind that remind you politicians are human, but hilariously bad at hiding it. Greg's brilliance? He didn't moralize. He mocked the act of moralizing. He highlighted how every scandal now comes wrapped in hashtags and fake outrage. Politicians treat getting caught like a marketing opportunity. Her PR team tried spinning it as a learning moment. Greg just rolled his eyes so hard you could hear it. He joked that Washington loves redemption arcs, but forgets that redemption requires honesty, not merch. Beneath the humor, he hit a nerve. Politics has become an improv show where everyone's pretending to care harder than the next person. Katie wasn't the villain. She was the latest episode of the industry of pretending.
It's like reverse empathy where she has power, but she lords it over the people that are in her employment.
And what's so weird about this is she's a politician. And you might think they're cruel and narcissistic, and she's definitely showing that, but usually they're good at hiding it.
Yes.
Reaching out to a broad group of people. The whole interview that got her in trouble in the first place. Remember the interviewer was like, how are you gonna reach out to people who voted for Donald Trump? And she was like, I hate them. I don't need to. And it was but this is what happens when you're in a supermajority state like California.
Finale was a masterclass in timing. Bullet points and dry erase marker. Because nothing's permanent in politics. By the end, Greg had turned her roast into America's group therapy session. People weren't just laughing at Katie. They were laughing at the absurdity of it all. The spin, the hypocrisy. The theater of political virtue. Greg didn't yell. He didn't rant. He just raised an eyebrow, and it landed harder than any monologue. That's his secret, letting hypocrisy expose itself. Katie tried to laugh along, but when you're the punchline, laughter feels like paper cuts, especially when your whole career was built on being the one holding the marker, not being the mark.
The number one priority for the Biden White House to try to get under control right now. As you're out there in California talking to constituents during this re-election year for Congress, how does inflation compare to this newly important, in the sense of the Supreme Court decision pending, abortion issue? How do those two issues compare?
Watch, it's not compare.
Well, I don't think they compare. I think they actually reinforce each other.
Watch.
So the fact that things like inflation can happen and it can become more expensive to feed your kids and to fuel your...
Greg? He moved on like nothing happened. That's his style. Hit, exit, leave the smoke behind. The crowd claps. The clip goes viral, and the politician of the week tries to rebuild their dignity on cable news. Katie's whiteboard survived, but her credibility. That thing's cracked like a campaign promise. Greg's roast wasn't cruelty. It was clarity. A reminder that the louder someone preaches virtue, the more skeletons they're hiding in their PowerPoint. Invite Greg into your hypocrisy bubble and he'll pop it with flair. Katie's still out there, whiteboarding her truth, but that shadow lingers. The night Greg Gutfeld turned her transparency crusade into a comedy special about selective honesty.
Gain political power without actually reaching out to a broad group of people. I just want to say, I desperately want to see these additional videos. She all but just said but they're out there.
You know what this is the link between California and New York. Why is New York about to elect a socialist mayor? It's because the one-party system, it's overwhelmingly Democrat. Anybody can make it. She can make it and he can make it. That's what they have in common. These single party things, man, they're dangerous.
Well, and also Trump, right? He'll say these outlandish things and everything, and so maybe she thinks, well, I can be this outspoken kind of larger than life personality. But the difference is Trump is funny.
And maybe that's what made it brilliant. Beneath the jokes, Greg gave something most politicians can't. Perspective. That sometimes the most revealing thing isn't your secret, but how you react when it slips. Katie's scandal wasn't catastrophic. It was human. But in Greg's hands, it became a mirror. A reflection of all our exhaustion with the Political Performance Act. Greg didn't just roast her. He exposed the absurd theater of politics itself. Because in the end, He's still the only guy on TV who can turn a congressional controversy into stand-up satire that feels like a public service. Katie Porter exposed her notes. Greg Gutfeld exposed the script behind them all.